Hi, how are you? Justin Brennan. So I wanted to showcase our new 30-unit investment deal in the Kansas City Troost area and kind of go over some of the summary stats and details of the project. So 30 units located within the Troost neighborhood area. Obviously centrally located in the middle of the United States, which I love because down here in San Diego it's an easy access for me, direct access flights with all the general partners and everybody. We know the area quite well now. Some of the investment gauges that we really look at when we're going into an emerging market is really the employment, making sure there's good potential for rent growth, and then the supply and demand is there with the jobs. And Kansas City in general, high-tech, Fortune 500 companies, large university system base, new art district, and then of course healthcare, which is a major driver for employment within the whole Kansas City area. Some little stats about Kansas City, if you may not know, about 2.1 million people within the general MSA. $9 billion recently has been invested into the Kansas City region. New performing arts, new sports venues, all the NFL stuff that's going on. You have obviously the Royals who won the World Series in 2015. But a lot of redevelopment is going on, very much an emerging market within kind of the Midwest area of the United States. So as I'd mentioned, why we like it, the jobs, the business growth, you have good rent growth. It's an emerging market as we classify it. Vacancy rates are quite low, and then some basic fundamentals for the apartment market and lower cost of living, high wage earners and stuff like that. So you're kind of good education within the area. So it all kind of fits into a really good emerging market. Demand drivers, as I had spoken about, you can look at those in detail. Some basics on the property, 30 units. The rents can be increased to market immediately, so they're substantially below market currently. There's about a 98% occupancy rate. Purchasing the property for $1.56, which is about $52,000 a door. There's some minor renovations on the property built in 1968. The exterior is pretty good. Interior, we can revamp most of them. So that's that. This is the general area of the Troost neighborhood near the Courtyard Apartments, which is what we're talking about right here. You have Troost Avenue that runs right down here, and all the redevelopment that's happening and is planned for this area. You have this mall here that they have plans to redevelop. There's a lot of new buildings along this corridor that are getting redone, and then everything is moving this way from the Kansas City proper, which is right up in this area, just so you know. So about the property itself, we have on-site laundry. We'll be looking to move that interior to the units. 34 on-site parking spaces, which are good. You can see some of the interiors dated. They're okay, but we can definitely go in, new cabinetry, backsplashes, countertops, all of that painting, kind of put a nice little cosmetic fix on the interior of all the units and make them quite nice, and then be able to bump the rents. The unit mix, 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, about 67% twos, 33% on the ones, so good unit mix. Basic property highlights. The way that we're looking at this is around 2024, holding it 5 to 7 years, give or take. 23% IRR, 11% cash on cash. Investors are getting 60% of the deal. The general partners 40% of the deal. We're bringing in 30% of the equity, and you get 4% pref from the investors as well. So loan amount that we're taking down about 1.4, and stabilization cap rate about 8.4%. Debt coverage ratios, and then the total equity requirement. So that's all in here in the cash investment. Some basic rents, you can take a look at the rent rolls. Natural rent growth, as I'd mentioned, the current rents are substantially under the market. And what's nice about this is that immediately we can take it from where it's leased at, move it to the market, and then more importantly, once we do some of the capital improvements, we're going to bump those things up for about $850 for a 1 and about $1,095 for a 2-bedroom, and that's where we could definitely see the market there for sure. So looking at some of the basic financial measures, if you were a investor putting $1,000 or $100,000 into the deal, this is what it would look like for you, give or take about a 20% annual return on your money and about a 12% cash on cash return. And that's kind of, you can look at it year by year and go through the financials in detail. This is your $100,000, moving it through year by year cash distributions, and of course on a sale or a refi, and then you're looking right around there for your anticipated annual rate of return on your money if you're putting it all together. Basically, you got some more detailed summary cash flows of the property. You can go through those. Some more stuff there. We utilize an online portal through Redwood Advisory Services, so that helps us with the investor relations side of things. You get to see your money 24/7, where it's at, what's going on with it, all the K1 statements, reporting, taxes. I mean, everything run through an online portal so you can see what's going on in real time with your money. More importantly, our property management company, Northern Terrace, so we have all the infrastructure on the ground locally. And our sponsorship team. So between myself, Chris Pohle, Jason Graves, and then Brennan, you have a great general partner group on the ground there that really knows what they're doing, both locally and nationally. And then, of course, our accounting firm, and then Redwood Advisory Services. So that is about it. Some of the track record of some recent deals we've done, both here in San Diego, but then also within the Kansas City metro market. So more to come. I hope that makes some sense. I know it was quick, but help give you guys some more details, get you some detailed financials, and go from there. But that's how we analyze some of the deals that we're looking at and what we like to see in terms of rent growth, markets, emerging stuff. But I hope that makes a lot of sense. So until next time, have a great day.